Ever looked at a tattoo on your body and thought, what the hell was I thinking? You're not alone. Studies show that up to 78% of people regret at least one of their tattoos. But here's the weird part. Most of these weren't drunk mistakes or impulse decisions. They were tattoos people loved, thought about for months, and couldn't wait to get. So what changed? Why do we end up hating the ink we once couldn't live without? The answer lies in something psychologists call identity shift. See, your brain at 19 is literally not the same brain you have at 29. Prefrontal cortex, the part that handles decision-making and self-identity, doesn't fully develop until you're about 25. That tribal armband or that ex's name, that was chosen by a version of you that no longer exists. You're basically walking around with someone else's decisions permanently marked on your skin. It's not just about age. Research from the Journal of Consumer Psychology found that tattoos represent who we are at a specific moment in time. They're like emotional photographs. The problem? We keep changing, but the tattoo stays exactly the same. That anchor that symbolized stability during your chaotic college years might now just remind you of a time you want to forget. A symbol that once meant freedom might now feel like a prison because you've outgrown what it represents. Here's what's really interesting. Tattoo regret isn't usually about the tattoo itself. It's about the story attached to it. A study from Texas Tech University found that people don't regret the art or the design as much as they regret what it reminds them of. That band logo from a group whose music you can't stand anymore. That quote that felt deep at 20 but sounds cringe at 30. Tattoo becomes a permanent reminder of a painful memory or an embarrassing phase. Then there's what researchers call the permanence paradox. When you get a tattoo, your brain loves the idea of forever. It feels meaningful, significant, like you're making a statement. But humans aren't wired for permanence. We're designed to adapt, evolve, and change. A study in the journal Body Image found that the same trait that makes people want tattoos, the desire to express identity, is also what makes them regret tattoos later. Because expressing who you are means accepting that who you are will change. Social pressure plays a huge role too. Maybe you got that face tattoo because you were in a certain scene or subculture. Now you're trying to land a corporate job, and that ink is a barrier. Research shows that visible tattoos can reduce job callbacks by up to 35% in certain industries. What felt like rebellion and authenticity at one point now feels like a stupid decision that's limiting your options. Your values shifted, your goals changed, but the tattoo didn't get the memo. There's also something called aesthetic fatigue. Your brain gets bored of seeing the same thing over and over. That beautiful design you stared at for hours in the tattoo shop, after seeing it every single day for years, your brain stops noticing it, or worse, starts finding flaws in it. The lines that seemed perfect now look slightly crooked. The color that was vibrant has faded. It's like listening to your favorite song on repeat until you can't stand it anymore. And let's talk about the comparison trap. Social media has made this worse. You see incredible tattoo art online, and suddenly your old ink looks outdated or poorly done by comparison. What seemed like an amazing piece in 2010 looks basic compared to the hyper-realistic portraits and geometric masterpieces flooding your feed. Technology and tattoo artistry have evolved rapidly, but your tattoo is frozen in time. Here's the really tough part. The sunk cost fallacy kicks in. You spent money, endured pain, and committed to this permanent decision. Admitting regret feels like admitting failure. So a lot of people live with tattoos they hate because the alternative, laser removal or a cover-up, means spending more money, enduring more pain, and facing the fact that they made a mistake. Studies show that laser removal can cost 3 to 10 times more than the original tattoo and takes multiple painful sessions. So people just live with their regret, hidden under long sleeves or behind forced explanations. Here's some good news. Psychologists say tattoo regret can actually be a sign of growth. It means you've evolved beyond who you used to be. That's not a bad thing. It's proof you're not stuck. Some people choose to reframe their regret tattoos as reminders of their journey and all. Others get them covered up or removed and move on. Either way, it's your body and your story. So if you're thinking about getting a tattoo, ask yourself, am I getting this for who I am right now or for who I think I'll always be? Because, spoiler alert, you won't always be this version of yourself, and that's okay. Growth is messy. Sometimes it's visible. What about you? Do you have a tattoo you regret or one you're worried you might regret someday? Drop a comment below. And if this made you think twice about that Impulse ink, hit subscribe because we're diving deep into the psychology behind every decision you make. See you in the next one.